Hey, Monica. You got a minute?
Hey, Bryant, what's up?
It's about Friday's date.
Oh, I see. What is it?
Turns out, I'm not actually gonna be able to make it after all.
Oh?
Sorry, this one's totally out of my hands. I think I mentioned this before, but it's an important business meeting with an overseas company I'm looking to set up a long-term working relationship with. I always have to arrange meetings with these guys with the gap in time zones in mind. Which is why they always tend to be in the evening for me. And there's not much I can do about it.
What's the problem? Surely you can just get the meeting over with early. You're a freelancer, right? I thought you were flexible on stuff like this.
The only reason we're having the meeting in the first place is because of the client, so unfortunately, it's not as simple as dipping out early. Besides, they told me that even if we get done early, it's gonna take at least 4 or 5 hours. Don't worry, babe. I'll make up for it. I promise.
Fine. But if we're canceling, you have to take me to a fancy restaurant next weekend and splash out on me then instead.
Okay, that's fair. What do you want to eat?
I think I'm in the mood for French food.
It's settled then. Let's go to that 3-star French restaurant you've been wanting to go to?
Oh, that place! It looks just amazing. Deal. Thanks, baby.
I heard it's got a dress code, so we have to look the part.
Got it. Oh yeah, that reminds me. It seems like I lost my earring when I was in your room the other day. I can't find it anywhere, and that's the only place I can think of. I promise I won't get in your way while you're working, babe. Do you mind if I come in and look for it now?
Listen. The thing is, I'm just about to head out to meet a client.
Can I go in with the spare key then?
I'm
going out with the girls tomorrow, and I really want to wear those earrings. They're my favorite pair. Please, baby.
Meh. I guess there's no harm. Okay. Please remember one thing, though. My study is off limits. Just like always, okay? Absolutely do not go in there under any circumstances.
Got it.
Monica, good morning. Do you have a minute? There's a little something I need to ask you about.
Sure. What is it?
It's about yesterday. You came over while I was out with a client to look for the earring you lost, right?
That's right. I didn't find it in the end, though.
Oh, really?
That was my favorite earring, too. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Anyway, forgive me, but let's put that conversation to one side for a minute.
What's wrong?
Did you go in my study?
I may have gone in there very briefly.
I knew it!
I was so desperate to find my earring. I knew I wouldn't be able to get it off my mind if I didn't go over the entire place with a fine-tooth comb, which meant peeking in your study, too. But don't worry, I didn't look at your computer or any documents or anything official or important-looking related to your work. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't understand.
That's fine, but I didn't really have anything that could cause me trouble if you saw it anyway. And that's not what I'm asking about. Listen, Monica? Did you open my desk drawer?
Oh, is this about the ring?
Huh? Yes, it actually is.
Yeah, I took it.
What? You took the ring without my permission?
Well, I figured it was for me anyway. Wait, it was, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was, but...
What's the problem then? I just took what was mine. You have no idea how good the timing was on this. You got me out of a real pinch. Thanks, baby.
I got you out of a real pinch.
So here's the thing. Remember that girls' holiday I went on a little while back? You see, one of my friends covered the $350 for my plane ticket. She lent it to me on the condition I pay her back by today. She was really insistent. I got bang on $350 for the ring at the pawnbrokers. Can you believe how lucky that is?
You sold the ring? You sold it for $350?
I did think about trying to haggle the guy up a bit, but whatever. I'm just happy I was able to pay off my debt.
You have got to be kidding me!
But really, Bryant? If you're gonna buy me presents, you really should push the boat out more.
Excuse me?
I understand you never get as much for the retail price when you sell stuff to a pawnbroker, but even taking that into account, I wish you would have bought me something a little higher quality. Aren't I worth more to you than $350?
Oh my God, Monica! What have you done? As far as I can see, either one of two things has happened here. Either you let him haggle you down to an absurdly low price, or you went to a shady pawnbroker.
Huh?
You would have never gotten so little for it otherwise.
What do you mean?
That was an expensive top-of-the-range ring!
Huh? It was? How much?
$25,000!
$25,000?
It had a real diamond in it, and not just a small one either.
Seriously? I thought it was just some cheap, tacky, cubic zirconia.
I bought it at the most luxurious jeweler in the state. I had to book an appointment just to go in and browse, for crying out loud. The appraisal certificate was right next to the ring in the drawer. Are you saying you didn't notice?
I didn't notice. Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna head back to the pawnbrokers and get it back. Just you wait. Ryan's?
How did it go?
They don't have it anymore.
What?
Apparently they sold it yesterday.
Seriously? Do you have any idea who bought it?
They said they're not at liberty to disclose that information.
Oh my God. That's it then. There's nothing we can do.
But this isn't so bad, Bryant. I mean, think about it. It was for me in the first place, right?
Well, it was. But I feel like that's not the...
No problem then. Just think of this as having given me it a little earlier than expected. This happened after I got a hold of it, and I had no way of knowing, so it can't be helped. Plus, it did pay off my debt, every cloud. No use crying over spilled milk, you know. It's fine, baby, really.
What?
I won't deny it is a little unfortunate, but I'm not gonna let it bother me, so you shouldn't either. Please let it go. Okay, that settles it then. That's the end of that.
How can you move on from this so easily?
Life's too short to dwell on bygones. What's done is done. We could cry and complain and be all down in the dumps, but where would it get us? Let's take a forward-looking, constructive attitude towards this, okay? You can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you react to it.
What the hell are you talking about? Happens to you? But you're the one who...
More importantly, let's think about something a little more fun. This conversation is boring now. That reminds me. Did you already make the booking at the fancy French restaurant next weekend? Since we don't eat out at places that nice very often, I think we should make the most of it and go for the 7 courses with champagne option.
That's enough.
Huh?
We're not going to the restaurant.
What? Why not? Aren't you forgetting something? This is your way of apologizing to me for canceling our date on Friday. You still have making up to do, mister. It has nothing to do with the whole ring thing. You're still not hung up on that, are you? Geez, seriously? You better not be sulking.
You still don't understand, do you?
Understand what?
Come on, just think about this. when do I buy you presents? Excluding our anniversary and your birthday, I almost literally never buy you anything. Yet there I was, about to give you a $25,000 ring. Did that not make you stop and think about it for even 1 second?
No, not this again. Look, baby, I'm really touched you bought me something so nice. I am. But it's gone now. Can't we just, get over it already?
That was an engagement ring!
Huh?
The booking at the French restaurant next week. On the surface, it was my way of apologizing for the date we missed on Friday. But in reality, the plan from the beginning was to propose to you there.
What? Really?
Remember before, when you said you'd always dreamed of being proposed to at a luxury restaurant with a beautiful view of the nighttime landscape? The plan was to get down on one knee while we were eating and pop the question. I want to make your dream a reality. That's why I intended to keep it hidden from you until the day. It was supposed to be a surprise. That's why I went out of my way to make sure the ring was stashed away in the desk drawer of my study that you weren't supposed to go in. Huh? What kind of reaction is that?
Sorry, baby, I'm just a little incredulous. Forgive me, but I have to ask you this. Can you really afford something as expensive as a $25,000 ring?
Huh?
Do freelancers really make that much money?
That differs from person to person.
But you buying a $25,000 ring? I just can't believe it.
I just went with the old, an engagement ring should be 3 times your month's salary rule. And that's how much it came to.
What? So you must make, over $8,000 a month? And wait, what? No, wait, $10,000 a year?
Well, there are taxes and some other minor deductions to take into account, but if you calculate a rough overall figure, then yes, more or less.
Well, if you're that rich, you could just buy me a new ring then. Can't you?
Huh?
I understand what happened is a little unfortunate, but if you work hard, you can make up for it in no time. It's just like they say, when you fall off your horse, you get straight back on it.
You're something else.
Do it for me, Bryant.
No, No! That's it. I can't do this anymore.
Where's your fighting spirit? And to think you call yourself a man. Did you say the restaurant wasn't booked? That's okay. In that case, leave it to me. I'll call them now.
It's not that I didn't book it, Monica. I just canceled it.
Huh? Why?
Because I'm breaking up with you.
What?
I can't do this anymore. I had no idea you were this irrational and lacking in common sense.
Common sense? Don't be so nasty. What does that mean?
Do you seriously still not get it?
Duh, that's why I'm asking, dummy.
You sold the engagement ring you took without my permission from a closed drawer in a room I told you not to go in. Your attitude when you found out that you had no hope of getting it back was awful. It was like you didn't care. Then, in spite of knowing the ring cost me $25,000, you didn't even show an inkling of any kind of sense of personal responsibility. Instead, basically ordering me to go out and get you a new one, like I'm your personal ATM. You genuinely seem to have no idea whatsoever of how awful and problematic your behavior is. I can't do this anymore. I just can't.
Oh my god!
Please, never contact me again.
Bryant, wait, please? How am I the bad guy here all of a sudden? I didn't do anything wrong! Ugh, Bryant!
A few days later, I sent Monica a compensation claim for the engagement ring through my lawyer. My lawyer, unbelievably, told me the response he got was, "That ring was a present for me, so it makes no sense that I have to pay compensation." And she refused to pay. I was at my wit's end, and playing nice was going to get me nowhere. So, I decided to tell her parents everything. The next day, I received a letter of apology through my lawyer, and the entire sum was paid into my bank account. Monica was forced to go and live back at her folks' place, and ordered to sign a written pledge agreeing to never come near me or contact me again. I heard her parents made her start work at a friend's factory, so she could start making her payments on the $25,000 they very kindly lent her. However, I recently heard from one of our mutual friends that now, even to this day, she still insists that she did nothing wrong, constantly complaining about me. Why did he do this to me? It's not fair. He also told me that other people in her life are finally starting to get sick of her bad-mouthing everyone, like she's Little Miss Perfect and can do nothing wrong. She's losing friends, one after the other, and if she's not careful, she'll be completely on her own before long.
Hey, Kathy, you got time to talk? I just checked the warehouse area of the company. I noticed that your car was parked there, but a whole bunch of other cars. What's this all about?
Oh, good morning, Laura. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you about that. I will be borrowing that open space behind the warehouse for 10 days. Just so you know. We're friends from our kids' school, so I figured it was okay. You don't mind, do you? Just 30 cars for 10 days. It's not like you're using the space anyways.
Excuse me? I really don't know what you're talking about. I talked to the office manager who oversees the property. You told him I gave you permission? You got him to open the gate and just drove those cars in. Are you out of your mind? I never gave you permission to do that.
I was planning on getting your permission later on. Anyways, you're the president's wife. I don't see a problem. We are friends after all. Just let me use it for free. Just for 10 days. It's just an empty lot. It's not being used at all. So, what's the problem?
Just because our kids go to the same school doesn't mean you can just bring your cars here and park without permission. And this is a weekday? And you bring 30 cars in here? What's this about anyway?
Well, okay. You know my son. Well, his team won the basketball championship last week. Well, in order to celebrate this victory, we decided on a 10-day trip for all the kids and parents. Since it's almost winter break, it was perfect timing. We plan to take in various basketball games and do a little sightseeing. It will be a blast for sure. The kids deserve it.
What's that got to do with me?
We chartered several buses for the trip, which leaves from City Hall. But during the week, the place is really crowded. The parking area around that place on a work week is just awful and expensive. I have to find a spot for everyone. Like I said, this is a 10-day trip. And everyone has a lot of luggage, you know. The parking fee is highway robbery in my opinion. Then it hit me. I remembered that your company was nearby, and you guys had that open space by the warehouse.
I'm sorry? Are you really being serious? I can't understand your reasoning.
The place is walking distance from City Hall, and besides, you're not using the area anyway, so I figured. Our kids go to the same school, and we know each other fairly well. So I was sure you would help us out.
You're way out of line. You can't just leave 30 cars here without even asking me first. And for your information, that area is currently being used. The cargo trucks come in regularly. We need that area to park the trucks and store the cargo. Those trucks are going to be coming and going all week. It'll be full by the end of the day. I can't allow you to park there. It'll disrupt our business.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you just close up shop while we're gone? Problem solved. Your place isn't some big corporation. Closing for 10 days or so wouldn't make much difference. And what if it goes bankrupt? Nobody would care.
Huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I really should have said that. But it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever. Just get those cars off our property right away. This cannot stand. It's business obstruction.
It's too late for that. We're already in the bus and on our way. I'm sorry, but we can't return now. Please just give it up. I mean, it's just for 10 days, for God's sake. We'll be out of your hair in 10 days.
Have you totally lost it? We're not in this business for fun. This is a legitimate business.
Come on, loosen up. It's just 10 days. We'll be back before you know it. Have a little patience. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Your husband's company has connections with the company my husband works at, right? If you even think about getting those cars towed, well, I'll have my husband terminate all accounts with your company.
Huh? Are you threatening me?
Take it however you like. Okay, so make sure those cars aren't moved. See you in 10 days. Hey, Laura. We're back. Wow, what a great trip.
Oh, hello, Kathy. I was counting the days for your return.
Thank you so much for taking care of the cars for such a long time. Really appreciate it. Are you at home now? Nobody seems to be at the office, and the gates are closed. Could you open the gates ASAP? I'll have everyone get the cars out, and we'll be out of your way. Can't be obstructing business any further.
If you want the cars released, you're going to have to pay $40,000.
Huh? $40,000? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the cost for leasing out the space next to our warehouse. Due to the disruption of our business, this unauthorized parking of 30 vehicles in our warehouse area, you are insured for such damages, I hope.
What? You're not serious. Do you expect me to pay? But you allowed us to use that space for free.
I never said I would let you use it free of charge. You and your friends just drove right in and parked. You never even asked for permission. I never once gave you permission. I will have you pay for the damages to our business.
It's just parking. So what's this $40,000? It would have been cheaper to park at City Hall. 10 or 20 bucks a day tops.
Okay, I'll give you a brief summary of what this amount entails. When the delivery trucks came in, we had no place to store the goods, so we had no choice but to use the employee parking area. The employees were forced to park their cars at a nearby parking facility. That cost was $40 a day times 25 cars times 10 days. That's $10,000 right there. In addition, we were forced to lease the space for all the cargo we couldn't fit in the warehouse area. We had to lease a storage area across town, only place we could find at the last minute. So the cost of that storage area, the moving cost and labor cost for moving the stuff. We also had to lease the trucks and the forklifts. But still, we weren't able to fit all of it into the storage area, so there's damages for that.
Oh yeah, and the parking costs to our clients. Did I mention the security we had to hire to watch over the stuff in the storage area? The total adds up to $40,000. Because you went ahead and used that area without permission, it put our entire business schedule into turmoil. We ended up having to cover various costs that we would not have encountered if that area was open. That's what it's used for. I expect this amount to be paid ASAP, or the cars stay put.
Huh? How am I going to pay $40,000? I told the other mothers that you would allow us to use that space for free. I can't very well ask them to pay now.
Oh, really? You know what? I contacted the club your son belongs to. They tell me you charged each member $50 per car for permission to park on our property. Is that right?
Oh, well, you know, I was just,
So that's $50 a head, $1,500. Nice. Does that mean you charged them $50 to park here? But then insisted that you park for free? Nice pocket change.
Huh? No, you got it all wrong. I would never sow such a thing. I was going to give all that to you once we got back from the trip.
Then why did you insist I let you use that area for free? I have that line conversation saved. I could send it to you if you'd like.
I was just joking around. Can you even take a joke? Do you really think I would con the other mothers for $1,500? It was all one big joke, that's all.
Oh, really? It was all one big joke, huh?
Of course. Come on, Laura. Do you really think I was serious?
Do you really think you'll be forgiven if you say it's all a joke?
Huh?
If you consider this all a big joke, you're more devious than I realized. With your stupid little joke, you caused this company $40,000 in damages, and I expect you to pay it in full. And that $40,000 is only an estimate and doesn't even come close to how much business we lost in the last 10 days.
It's actually more than $40,000?
Of course. Our business was disrupted for 10 full days. Do you know what that means? Our employees ended up doing overtime because of the schedule change. We spent hours locating a suitable storage site. If you put into consideration the overtime and labor costs, it would be more like $60,000. If we continue like this for any longer, we would have gone bankrupt. So, I'll ask you again. Did you seriously do this as a joke? You were planning on bankrupting our company as a joke. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. I didn't mean it like that. That was never my intention.
If you, Kathy, have no intention of paying, I will draw up an invoice to your husband's company. Is that okay with you? You did say if I didn't allow you to use the space, you would get your husband to terminate our account. Do you remember that? Because you said that, I have no choice but to conclude that your husband's company is a party to all of this.
No, please. I didn't mean that. My husband's company had nothing to do with this. Please leave him out of it.
But you threatened me. You said you would get your husband to terminate our account with them. And now you say he has nothing to do with this? Now, I could laugh at that joke.
Really, it's no joke. This is not a joke. I'm sorry. Please, calm down. I'll pay. Okay, I'll pay. I will do something about it. I'll pay. So, could you please open the gates and get the cars out? The other mothers and their kids want to get home, so please.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. Like I said, if you want the cars released, you must first pay up. I don't trust you, to be honest. You may just up and run.
How could you do that? It's like you don't trust me at all. Besides, our kids go to the same school. I consider you a friend.
Do you really think I trust you after what you pulled? I feel sorry for the other mothers, but I can't open those gates until you pay for damages.
Please, you can't do this. What am I going to do? What do I tell the other mothers? Everyone has a load of luggage. What do I tell them? Please, open the gates! Please!
When I was frantically asking you to stop, you completely ignored me. Don't you think you're being a little selfish? You almost ruined our company.
I'm sorry. I was in the wrong. Please forgive me. I promise I will pay for the damages. Just let me get the cars out.
I'm sorry, no can do. Call a cab for the others, they'll be okay. I have an early morning tomorrow, so I better get going. Goodbye.
Please wait. Don't leave me hanging. Please.
Sorry. Good night. The next morning, Kathy and her husband arrived at our office. They both profusely apologized for the harm they caused and for using the space without permission. The mothers were furious at Kathy for lying to them and was forced to pay the taxi fees for everyone. As for the $40,000 that I was demanding, the amount was way over what she could pay on the spot, so Kathy apparently confessed everything to her husband and asked him to pay the damages. Her husband made her promise she would never do something like this again and agreed to pay the damages and, in addition, compensation on her behalf. I brought along our company lawyer who drew up all the necessary papers. With the legal papers in hand, they were allowed to finally remove the cars from our property and back to their owners. As of Kathy, we didn't want to traumatize her kid with this unfortunate incident. So, all involved decided to keep the whole affair confidential. We agreed to explain to the other mothers that it was all a misunderstanding, that I had mistaken the day when the cars would be parked. After a while, our business finally got back on track. What a relief. For a while there, I thought we would go bankrupt. As appreciation for all the hard work my employees put in during this time of crisis, I included a hefty year-end bonus to all employees. Oh, and I increased the security around our warehouse and adjoining spaces so such incidents never occur again.